Hello everyone and welcome to another Flicks Tabletop Gaming unboxing, and today from Marvel Crisis Protocol, a month and a bit late, we finally have CP17, CP18, Wave 1 of the Guardians of the Galaxy releases, Groot and Rocket Raccoon, and then of course the leader of the Guardians, Starlord, and these took a while. I had to eventually just pick them up from eBay, unfortunately, just because of the weird shipping. I have absolutely no problem with Atomic Mass Games, or their parent company Asmodee, cancelling deliveries and releases through April. They've also just announced they're cancelling them through May as well, so there shouldn't be any new releases until June at this point. However, I do have a little bit of an issue that I want to bring up in this video, because this is the closest thing to an apt video I can do this in, is the inconsistency of their decision to stagger releases, because they're not applying it evenly to the entire world. Yes, I know I'm whining, sorry, but that doesn't mean you have to as well. For instance, my friend in Belgium has Wave 2 of the Guardians releases, which aren't supposed to be out until June now. Well, originally they were meant to be out in about 2 weeks, around about the middle of May, which is Gamora and Nebula and, I actually think it's the other release was the Black Widow Hawkeye box, maybe? See, this is inconsistent, the dates are all over the place. But he's already got Gamora and Nebula, unboxed, unpainted, assembled, and everything, when everywhere else is going to have to wait till June. How did that happen? If Asmodee, the parent company of Atomic Mass Games, is saying nope, no deliveries, which I again don't have an issue with, because they're actually looking out for the safety of their employees, which is good. All I ask is consistency, because it's getting annoying, quite frankly, that some models are available. Some countries, I guess it is down to certain countries are not as locked down as others. But surely it's a little confusing, especially because they are still also previewing new miniatures that are coming. Like, they've been showing off the Thanos box on their streams, they've been showing off the Black Order, Ghost Rider, a bunch of stuff. It's very, very strange. I apologise for wasting so much time talking about that, but I don't have any issues really with the game of Crisis Protocol. The management of it though, the releases and the consistency, which I have talked about before in unboxings, very bad. And it's not all COVID-19's fault. Anyway, let us get started. So we're going to start in order, so Rocket and Groot go first. We'll put Star-Lord to one side for a second here. So we know about these two. Let's open it up and have a look. Oh, I should also mention that I was blanking on Proxima Midnight and Corvus Glaive. There's people on Twitter who have already legally bought their miniatures of those two, which again are not supposed to be out until June at this point, but inconsistency. So I've had a little bit of a spoiler of the Wave 1 Guardians, because we've been playing 2-on-2 battles over on my gaming channel via Tabletop Simulator. So I've seen a Guardian crew. I haven't personally used a Guardian crew, but I had a teammate who used one. So I'm a little bit familiar with what we're getting here. A little bit, not fully. So first of all though, assembly instructions for the tiny Rocket Raccoon. Oh my bleep, 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 bleep. Why do you need to attach Rocket's upper jaw to his face? Why? You can make it like a zombie version if you didn't bother with that step. Other than that though, big gun to body, head to chest, tail, other arm. The rest of that is fine. That feels, again, like one of those steps where it's like, oh, it's too simple, put in another step. I know, dislocate his upper jaw. Groot. Okay, Groot is more... That's perfectly fine. No issues with Groot whatsoever. And how could you be mad at Groot? Yeah, okay, he seems perfectly fine. No tiny bits. Very, very obvious. Again, a little bit of annoyance that there's no marked numbers for each step, but that's a small thing. At least they come with assembly instructions, as I'm always reminded anytime I buy anything from Night Models. So let's get the cards out. Let's struggle to get the cards out. Let's continue to struggle to get the cards out. I don't want to damage them. So there's some Guardian affiliation tokens for when you're holding origin bombs. That is rooted status effect, I believe, which is what Groot does. And then that's either stagger or stun. I will forever get those two mixed up. So Team Tactics cards. We have We Are Groot. I've seen this being used in a match. Spend 3 power to play the card. Groot and allied characters within 4 of him remove 2 damage. Doesn't get up dazed characters though. Sora, there's no need to bark at someone going past the window. I'm trying to record a video here. Sora, hackles down. We are Groot. Okay, that calmed her down. Deadly Duo is the other one, which is a team-up card for Rocket and Groot. They both have to play 2 while within 2 of each other. It lets Rocket Raccoon immediately perform 3 plasma rifle attacks. So Groot has to front part of the cost, but then Rocket Raccoon gets to go nuts with his big gun. Was there a third card? There was not. So one minor complaint, because the Guardians got spoiled long ago on Atomic Mass Games streams, they're all a little bit boring in terms of like their cards. There's not much to see. Doesn't mean they're bad. Does not mean they're bad. Just a little dull, honestly. So Groot is essentially just the walking bodyguard for Rocket. He automatically can pass over for free any attack to Groot instead. Groot can root people. Pardon me. He can also heal himself for 2 power. He's got 7 HP on his healthy side. I don't think anything changes on his wounded side. Doesn't seem like it. But as I say, the downside, if it can be seen as such, is Groot and Rocket have to stay close to each other, because Rocket is a paper tiger. 3 HP, medium move, size 1. I think he always counts as having cover, so there is that. And again, yeah, there's the attack you can use for free to make Groot take a hit for him. Booby Traps is pretty good. It's just a 3 power attack against someone who moves within 3 of you. But then there's his Plasma Rifle, 5 range, 5 dice. Generates a lot of power as well. On his wounded side, I think that's the same as well. 3 HP as well. He's very cross that his gun is broken. Let's take a look at the quality. I never have many issues, if any at all, with Atomic Mass Games sprue. Except, they're a little bit tangled. That appears to be... oh, that's Rocket. Oh, look how tiny his body is. This is going to be... where's his jaw? They gave you 2 of his jaw, I think. I think that's it there. Oh dear. That is going to be horrible, honestly. Not any issue with the moulding. And there's good old Groot. Probably going to be doing a painting video on him, because I think he'll be a fun experiment with doing like just a basic contrast and then adding on top of the contrast to try and give it a bit more definition. We'll see how that goes, but that's the rough plan for that. And Groot goes on the larger base, and you've got a bunch of extra small bases to take your pick for what you want Rocket to go on. But you want to have a little bit of synergy between them, because it does look like, if you see the models, that Rocket is kind of synergizing with Groot on a bit of his wood there. Alright, let me move this to one side and then we'll take a look at Starlord. Alright, there we go. That's what I count as tidy. So, Starlord, the leader of the Guardians. Let's take a look at him. First things first, we're going to start with assembly instructions. I heard a little bit of horror stories from my friend in Belgium regarding how many assembly parts involve his head. So you have to put both halves of his head together. Then you add his hair to his head, you add his face mask to his head. That's not too bad, honestly. A little, like, this is utterly unnecessary, but that's not too bad. The thrusters onto his rocket boots kind of looks like a crab monster from South Park in this particular picture, but that's okay. Other than that, I have heard it, yeah, this is the only point of, like, structure holding him to the smoke that in turn is holding him to his base, is this jet going into his leg here. So he's very, not fragile might not be the word, but you knock him at the right angle and that's the only thing keeping him together off of the smoke there. So my friend was mentioning he did like a pin at the back there just to hold him in, which might be necessary. I don't have anything like that, so I'll just have to make do. Now, I think Starlord comes with one of the Infinity Gems. I'm surprised he didn't include the additional tutorial on how the Infinity Gems work, because I think he comes with a Power Stone. So he comes with a special new token along with some existing ones. Have they made the bags with these things smaller? It's harder to get them out. So those are, well, they've got the Milano on them, which is the Guardian ship, but I believe they stand for Winging It tokens. These are civvies for the mission. They come with Starlord. Then you've got Slow, Shock, Blood, etc. So, yeah, he does come with a Power Stone. Yeah, okay, there we are. 1 threat to equip it as part of your team. During the power phase, this character gains 2 additional power instead of a normal 1 for having an Infinity Gem. So you still get your 1 power, but then you also get 2 instead of the normal 1. Now that is really good, not on Starlord as much, because there's not much for him to do with his power. But we'll look at that in a second. So the mission, we actually did play this one on Tabletop Simulator. There's civvies, you pick them up, you hold on to them, you score a victory point per turn you're holding them, or if you have 6 power, you can spend it to get the civilian off the table and score 2 victory points. So, oh, also 19 threat, which is the first 19 threat mission. It's an interesting one, that. And the Guardians of the Galaxy affiliation card. So Groot, Drax, Ronan, Angela is also part of that, so she's part of Asgardians and Guardians. That's hard to say. Gamora, Nebula. So they've got a lot to choose from, at least. Still only one leader, though. Crew of the Milano. Oh, please get in focus. It's good art. Any number of allied Guardians of the Galaxy may spend 1 power to play this card. Each character who has spent that power remove all special conditions and cannot suffer special conditions this round. Good against people who spam bleed or shock, that kind of thing. Rocket boots, which is just a wonderful picture of Spider-Man trying out rocket boots. That art is great. Which artist is it that did that? Revis. Like, there's one artist they've got in particular for their cards that I really like their style. And there's one that I don't, but I'm not going to talk about that because that would be overly negative. Any unallied character may play this card. They gain the flight innate superpower this round. At the end of the round, roll 1 die. If the result is a blank, the character gains stun because they run into a wall. If it's a skull, they gain stagger and stun. Wow. On any other result, the character may advance small. Oof. I mean, that's a fun card. It's not a good card. At least, I don't think so. So, Star-Lord's card. He's got his element guns, he can go full auto with them, which lets him pick status effects, which is his one massive benefit, and he can get the power to do it very easily. 6 HP. The winging it means you use up one of your tactics cards, you just make it disappear to get winging it tokens to give to your team, and then you can use those whenever you want to do rerolls. Although you have to do it in the turn in which you do it, because they disappear in the cleanup phase. He has Plucky Attitude. If you roll no successful hits or blocks when you're blocking, you can reroll the dice. And that's it. That's, like, it's again, not that he is bad. I'm not saying he's bad, because I've seen what they can do on the table thanks to Tabletop Simulator. They're really, really good. It's just, he's dull. And Star-Lord did not strike me as being a dull person, even though I dislike Chris Pratt, but still. Anyway, on his wounded side, 1 less HP. Other than that, I believe everything is the same. And he can hold the power gem, obviously, because he's half eternal, or whatever it is that he is. He comes with a couple of extra heads, I think. Is that like 3 sets of hair? No, he comes with 2 masks, 2 left sides of his face, 2 right sides, 2 hairs, 2 masks, and 2... I guess they give you double what you need, so that you can take another stab at it if you mess up once. His rocket boot bits are tiny. Oh, that's scary. So yeah, that's the little gap right, probably can't get it in view, but right there, that's how he's connected to his base. Nice miniature, just, again, a little bit of unnecessary assembly, and dangerously small assembly for those with large man hands. But, anyway, that is long overdue. I apologise for that, but obviously with everything going on, it's not all just down to Asmodee and their epileptic release schedule for every different country of the world. But this is Wave 1 of the Guardians, Star-Lord, Rocket and Groot, Gamora, Nebula, Proxima Midnight, Corvus Glaive, Black Widow, Hawkeye, whoever else that were meant to be out in May. Who knows when they're going to come out or where. Like, again, some of them have actually already released. My friend has Gamora and Nebula, as I said. Seen a couple of people on Twitter with the Corvus Glaive Proxima Midnight box. They're all over in different places of the world. Who knows? Who knows? Anyway, thank you for watching this. They'll be on the table as soon as possible, and there'll be a painting video on Groot at the very least. Thank you for watching. See you in the future. Ta-ta for now.